Greetings and welcome to PinballHelp. Mike here. Work is continuing on this Stern Trident early solid state machine. If you've been following this series, I basically just pulled this thing out of storage and hadn't looked at it. Bought it without having any idea what kind of condition it was in, and just started to give it a look. I've had it for a couple of years now, and I like these early solid states, so if I have a chance to grab them, I will. And finally pulled it out, decided that I'm going to get this back operational. I'm going to be using it for another project. It's a custom rule set thing. But first steps first, got to get this game working. So as you can see, it is booting up now. In the last series of videos, I replaced the power supply and I went over all of that. And despite those slightly low readings from the meter, the game, I hooked everything up and the game booted up and everything is working. The displays are all working. I pulled the incandescent bulbs out and just threw a few LEDs in there just because I didn't want to pull too much power off of it just yet, and I just wanted to see how whether they would blink or not. The displays are okay. They're a little slightly wonky here and there, but that's kind of expected. So I'll go through what I didn't catch on camera because I just turned it on and couldn't go into self-test or anything, couldn't start a game or anything. I wasn't quite sure what the problem was. So I started tracing the cabinet buttons. Now the self-test button here is not part of the switch matrix. It's wired directly to the board. So I just checked continuity to it and followed it all the way up, made sure it was okay. And then what I ended up doing was reseating the connectors in here. And then it just started working. So this connector right up here is some of the, I believe, the external cabinet switches. And let's see, are you even seeing what I'm seeing right up here? My light. Kind of doing this not outside of my normal workshop. So, but right here, this connector right here, I think, has got the cabinet switches in it. So I reseated it, cleaned it, took a little bit of some sandpaper and kind of sanded the pins, and that seemed to make it work. I'm noticing a lot of corrosion on a lot of the external metal components here, so I think probably what would be good would be to undo all these connectors and just clean all the pins, give everything a good look, because I think there's quite a bit of oxidation on most of the exposed metal surfaces. And I can see, like, on some of these displays, like, so this display is actually working, but if you, let me pull the camera around here, you can see what I'm seeing. It does not look totally healthy. If you look at that connector right there, see the green? That's really not supposed to be there. Some kind of gunk in there. And it's all, I know what it is. It's the insulation. The insulation has melted, and it's kind of gunked up the connectors. So these things are probably going to need to be cleaned. I've seen this happen before. Certain colors of insulation seem to be more prone to melting than others. And look at that. Whatever green they used, it's leaked. It's up on all of them. See, right up there. You can see the green. So all these connectors all need to kind of be worked on. So I'm not sure if I'm going to replace these with more modern LED connections or not, but I will want to get this thing working and as reliable as possible. There's still a few issues with it. Here's something interesting. Let me show you this. The game is on and it's in attract mode, but the flippers work. None of the other coils work, but the flippers, and that's very odd. My immediate suspicion is that this lockout relay up here is malfunctioning. On the driver board, you have this large relay right there. And this often locks out the flippers, and that could be malfunctioning. And that would cause, I think, I'm going to do a little bit of research, but I think if that's not working right, that could cause these flippers to still be activated even in track mode. I'll do a little bit more research in that, but that's very odd. This shouldn't be able to do that while there's not a game being played. So speaking of gameplay, once I reseated some of the connectors, I was able to credit the game up. There's not a battery in here, so if I turn it off and turn it back on, I'll lose it. But if I can start the game, and our coils are all working, flippers. I noticed that one of the pop bumpers is out, and one of them is working. But you know, everything else seems to be working. So there's a slingshot here. Look at that. Is this another slingshot over here too? I think it is. So this slingshot's not working. So there's a slingshot here, and one pop bumper is out. So I'll be diving a little bit deeper into it. But I got the game to boot up, and it is playing, and it's scoring, and so it lives, and this should clean up pretty nice, I think. So I'm psyched about this. There you have it. So far, so good. But obviously, we've got to play whack-a-mole, finding little things and figuring out why this is not working. Could it be a broken lead? Could it be a burnt coil? Oh, you know what? We do know there is one driver transistor on the driver board, which is not on it. So this could be associated with that. There's one driver transistor missing. So that's something I'll look into. So so far so good. So I guess continue on with the video series, and we'll see where this goes. So until next time, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, YouTube/PinballHelp, and thanks for watching.